week 33 of the $100,000 stock challenge. And man, I got a super jam-packed video for you guys today, man. So do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button. Do me another favor, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you find this video helpful at all, please share it with a friend. With that being said, man, housekeeping, one more thing. If you guys want the free Candlestick Bible PDF book, please DM me on Instagram at ShugTV. Like I said, YouTube did not allow me to put the PDF book in the description, so I don't mind emailing it to you guys. So just DM me on Instagram at ShugTV, and I don't mind sending it out to you guys. But man, I do kind of want to jump on here and talk about something really quick. Coach, when I say Coach Chris Sain, he made a video Sunday talking about the candlestick patterns on it. Right, there was some of them that popped up was like the 3 green soldiers, the morning star, you know, the hammer, kind of things of the nature. The bullish. Basically, it was a lot of patterns that he was talking about on there, that if you identify these patterns, right, that you know that the stock is about to go up, right? So with that being said, man, I was you know, looking at some trades earlier today, trying to identify, you know, where, if I could take advantage of anything, right? And I was looking at Nvidia, right? I'm gonna pull this up. The stock is Nvidia. I got Nvidia pulled up right now. I got the chart pulled up, and I was looking at this. By the way, this is on the 15-minute time frame, right? The 15-minute time frame. The reason I was looking at the 15-minute time frame, because, you know, Coach, he always talk about being a sniper, right? Being a sniper in the game, getting in, getting out, executing, not overstaying your welcome, right? So I was like, man, so that strategy is called like scalping, you know, being real nimble, being real quick, getting in there, getting out. Coach said he doesn't trade no more than, like, you know, 50, like anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour a day. He's done for the day, right? Meaning he's not staying in trades super long or anything like that. So what he's saying, I was like, dang, all right, he's in a smaller time frame. He's just identifying patterns, executing, getting out there, right? So when I was looking at this, right, and this is why it's so important to know what time frame you're trading in, right? And whatever time frame you're trading in, you have to be able to execute in that time frame, right? And I think this is the most beautiful example of that, because right here, this was around 9 o'clock. The stock was at, you know, when I say the stock, Nvidia was at 177, right? Let me jot it out. It was at 177. Just kind of want to highlight that it was at 177.29. Oh, also, for anybody that's asking what platform this is TradingView. If you guys don't like TradingView, there's Yahoo Finances that Coach used to do chart analysis. There's also Robinhood that offers a nice platform to mark up and analyze different trades. I do recommend the desktop version of that to, you know, do your trade. Honestly, I recommend desktop versions for all of this, right? I do not recommend doing this on your phone at all. That's just my personal opinion. When you're charting, you want an iPad, laptop, desktop, whatever. Don't try to do trading analysis on your phone. You will. I just don't think it's efficient, my personal opinion, right? I feel like you don't get the full grasp of the platform that you're using. But like I said, it was at 177. This was around 9 o'clock time frame, right? So right at market opening, right? And as soon as I noticed, I realized that Nvidia gapped up, right? Nvidia gapped up right here with this huge candle, right? And I'm like, damn, that's a huge gap up. That's a huge gap up. So I'm wondering, like, damn, okay, if I said another one, I noticed that it did not come below 25%, right? You know, when you're doing this, right? It did not come below 25% of the first candle. So it didn't. It stopped right here, and then it decided to gap up some more. So I'm like, oh, dang, this might be a 3 green soldiers forming, right? And let alone enough, it did the exact same thing. It did not come back down 20. Let me clean this up a little bit. I'm not the greatest at this, so please bear with me. But the third one, this one right here, it did not, you know, come below 25% of the second candle, right? And notice that this one did not come of 25% of that candle as well, right? So I'm like, okay, that's right there. Let me know if you just, as a newbie looking at this, oh shit, 3 green candles is going up, right? Cool. So what did it come here? It decided to go up a little bit more right here as well, right? So, according to coach and like, you know, a lot of things like that, like the candlestick Bible and things of nature, once you see that, this would be your entry point, right? That candle would be your entry point once you realize, well, let me clear this up. This would be your entry point once you realize that this candle went up at least 25% and did not come back down, right? So, you know, you could have entered this candle right here, right? Entry, right? This is your entry point, right? And that was right around 182 and you wrote it up, right? But the problem with this is, right, is that in order, this is the 15-minute time frame, right? So in order to do this, you know, you got 15 minutes, like just roughly, right? Just set a timer your friend that you're looking at this on a 15-minute time frame, like any newbie trader. Okay, now I'm getting in here, I'm getting in here, I'm getting in here. And then you, in that 15 minutes, you gotta set your stop loss. You gotta figure out what option play you want to get into, right? So the moral of the story, what I'm saying is, in order to scout, you gotta be quick, right? You gotta be super, super, super quick. And me personally, I don't think I'm quick enough to identify, you know, the option play that I want, set my stop loss, double check myself, set support and resistance, right? Right? Because even if you look at it right here, right? And the reason why I said that this is really important, I had screenshot this, by the way, because if you look right here on the 30-minute time frame, you see the big boom boom candle right here, right? The big candle shot up, right? It shot up again, did the same thing, but 30 minutes later, it did not do that. It was a red candle, right? And then it continued to go down for the day, right? The reason why I said it is that it's really important that you could try to be a sniper in the game, but you got to know your skill set, right? You got to know your skill set. You can identify these boom boom candles, but if you're not super quick and nimble to get in and out these trades and be flexible to do this, and you know you're trying to work a 9-to-5 job, and you got to know what time frame you want to trade in, right? So for me, being realistically speaking, I'm not as swift, I'm not as nimble, I'm not as quick as coach may be to get in and out these trades. So me knowing that, I know that I cannot trade in the 15 minutes. I know I probably can't trade in 30 minutes. I probably have to be somewhere within the hour to 2 hour time frame, right? That is the time frame I'm personally looking at, right? But coach, he likes to, you know, be a sniper, get in and out, which I don't blame him, man. Get that money, get out, right? But in order to be that, you gotta know how fast you can operate to get in and out these trades, right? You have to know that, being realistically, right? And I kind of also want to address this comment as well. I know a lot of people say, coach, the only reason why coach make all this money is because he got money to play with, right? I'll probably pull up some examples on the screen as well, but he talks about how he makes, like a lot of people saying that coach takes $50,000-$60,000 and make $10,000-$12,000, right? That is proper risk to reward ratio, right? Like I keep telling everybody, bro, this is not sports betting. You're not going to take $5 and turn it to $500. You're not going to take $10 and turn it to $10,000, right? Having proper risk to reward is key. So being realistically speaking, right, coach always talk about, you know, as a newbie, the minimum we should be making a day is, you know, $200 to $250, right? Anywhere between $200 and $250, right? In order to properly make $200 to $250 a day, you need about $1,500 to actively trade with, right? And that's the reason why I say that, because if you're doing that, you're having proper risk to reward management, right? Because a lot of these option plays that coach shaking is right near the money or in the money calls, right? Meaning they only got to go up a few cents or a dollar and he's banging it out the park, right? That's how he's able to always make money, right? And a lot of people talk about, man, you're gonna take $1,500 to make $200 to $250. That's not a lot. But man, I want you to realize a lot of people do not even make $250 a day, right? Majority of professions don't even make $250 a day. So if you're trying to tell me I can make $250 with, you know, an hour, 2 hours of work, why wouldn't you, right? And of course that's gonna grow once your account grows. So now you're not playing with $1,500, you're probably playing with $5,000, and then with that $5,000 you could probably make up towards, you know, $1,000 a day, right? So, but it starts with that and knowing proper risk to reward ratio, knowing what time frame you can execute in, and 3, knowing how to be a ninja, right? And I think that's well, not a ninja, a sniper, you know, getting in there, getting out there, executing. That's what I'm personally working on. If like identifying trades, how long does it take me to identify entries, identify support, identify resistance, looking at the option contracts, getting all this in here, and, you know, getting in there, getting out, packing up, and taking my profits for the day. Because that was the perfect example of a boom boom candle in a 15-minute time frame. But me knowing in order to identify that, set it up, set my stop loss, I probably wasn't gonna do that in 15 minutes. Some people do trade recklessly and do not set a stop loss. You know, coach, he said don't never hop in the trade without setting that stop loss. But that's just kind of like the perfect example that you gotta know how to get in and get out, because people trade 15-minute time frames all the time. Coach personally sniped in a 15-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame. You just gotta know how to set up and execute. So if you guys want a video on how to properly set a stop loss, well, 1, identify a trade like I did this one, looking at the options contracts, right? Getting familiar and comfortable with how to identify a perfect contract, you know, data delta, all of those good things. 3, setting a stop loss on that option contract. And 4, getting in there, getting it out, and selling it. I would try to do a live demo, but like I said, it's kind of hard with me, you know, trying to set up the camera, record all that, capture it, live action. So I would try my best, but you know, if you guys want, I'm trying to deliver, because like I said, we all here to get better 1% each and every day. That's the motto. The only way you're gonna get better if you practice and put the work in, and be consistent with it at that. But that's all I got for this video. See you guys Sunday. But with that being said, peace.